In this episode, we're going to be talking about how to market consulting services. And I am going to be talking about YouTube. YouTube is the best platform to market consulting. What's amazing about the strategy you're going to learn in this episode is the people watching don't feel like they're being sold to. And one of the biggest reasons is we're not doing like a paid ad campaign where we're pushing stuff on people. By the end of this episode, you'll have clarity on how the strategy works. So let's dive right in. Did you know that right now, people are online searching for your consulting services? They're searching right this minute, right now when you're watching this video, I promise you, either on their computer or on their phone, and they're not finding you. That's a big problem. I mean, there are people searching for you every hour, every day, and they're not finding you. Well, by the end of this video, you will know how to fix that, how to correct that. So in general terms, how you solve this is you want to know what questions your target audience is asking. And I'll show you how to do this. You can search and find, like once you know who your target audience is, these people that are looking for consulting, whatever type of consulting you offer, you can search and find who these people are and figure out what questions they're typing into Google and YouTube. So here's one example. What if they typed in the question, how do I scale my business? You know, somebody that is typing that in, they obviously have an existing business and they've made it to a certain level, but they've probably plateaued. And they want to know, how do they crank it up? How do they increase the revenue? How do they grow? As a consultant, maybe you have the advice. Maybe you have the answer to that question. Well, imagine if you could film a video answering that question. So every time somebody asked that question, they found your video. Let me give you another example. What if somebody typed in, how do I improve my churn rate? Right? And so what that means is, they've got employees and they're hiring a certain number of employees, let's say every month, but then there's turnover and they have to rehire another round of employees the next month and the next month, and people don't stay very long. And so that's a high churn rate. So if they're wanting to improve that, is that something you can help them with as a consultant? Can you give them some advice on their hiring process or on their training process, or diagnose what the problem is that they need help so that they can have a better churn rate? Well, imagine if you made a video that answered that question and gave some advice. Then people, when they go to Google and YouTube, they type in that question and your video pops up and they watch it and they get value from you. Well, now they know who you are, because before, when they're typing in these questions, they'd never heard of you before. But now I'm going to show you how to make it so that they find your video, you answering their question. Now in a minute, I'm going to show you some real examples, but that might not be so specific to you. So that's why I'm giving you real examples for consulting right now. So another one might be how to motivate my sales team. Right? There's a lot of factors that go into that depending on what the problem is and why they lack motivation. But again, imagine if somebody goes to Google and YouTube and they type in how to motivate my sales team, and then your video pops up and you've got some advice. You've got some stories of experiences you had of where your sales team was and where you got them to. Or maybe you can share a story of a client that had that problem and you gave them consulting and shared some ideas and talk about the turnaround that that company had. So now that you understand the goal, let me share a 5-ingredient strategy that if you include all 5 of these ingredients, they will find your video. It's very predictable. You don't have to worry about your videos going viral. When you follow this strategy, the people that are searching and asking these questions will find your videos. So ingredient number 1 is you've got to use leaf titles. In order for you to know what I'm talking about, let me show you my tree analogy. The trunk of the tree represents your core area of expertise, whether it's sales or whether it's leadership or whether it's just business in general. And all the different branches represent all the different categories you have expertise in. Well, if you follow those branches out to the leaves represent the questions. The leaves are what we want. We don't want to make videos on trunk topics. We don't want to make videos on branch topics. We only want to make videos on leaf topics. And leaf topics are very specific questions that your target audience is asking. So as an example, let's say you're an expert in productivity. Okay, an example of a leaf, what can increase productivity in a dental office? I didn't make that question up. I searched and I used a tool to find questions that have consistent search volume every month. And that is gold because that is so specific, and yet it has consistent search volume every month. Another one is how to improve productivity on a construction site. So notice there are 2 videos that are going to be talking about similar things. In the first video, you're going to be talking to a dental team. In the second video, you're going to be talking to a construction team. This is what I mean by leaf titles. You've got to do the keyword research to find these questions that your target audience is asking. So I can't just make up another one and say, well, how to increase productivity in a car wash. Like, if people aren't searching for it, then you don't want to make a video about it. So you've got to do the keyword research to find the questions that they are asking consistently. Now let me show you the keyword magic tool, which, by the way, if you want a free trial, go to herokeywordtool.com and you can do exactly what I'm showing you here. So herokeywordtool.com. Let's say you're an expert in change. Okay, so if you put change in the search bar, hit search, come over here, turn on the questions button, and then there's an advanced filter that I love to use. It's called word count. Notice there's a number 8 there. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for questions that have 8 or more words about change. So let's see what I find. How to deal with a life-changing injury. How to deal with employees' resistance to change. How to change your life at 60 years old. What are the primary components necessary for lasting cultural change? That is 10 words. That is a crazy long mouthful. And to think that there are 90 people every single month searching for that long question just boggles my mind. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for really long, specific questions that have at least 10 searches per month. I know 10 doesn't sound like a lot, but that's the low-hanging fruit. These are the ones that are going to rank for the easiest, the quickest, and these will generate clients. And over time, these videos will definitely get more views than that month after month. These videos are evergreen, and they're going to last for many, many years generating you leads. That's ingredient number 1. That's leaf titles. Now, ingredient number 2 is your episodes need to be about 10 minutes in length. You don't want to create shorts. You don't want to create long podcast style episodes. You want to create videos that are an average of about 10 minutes in length. You've probably heard people tell you that you got to focus on shorts because people's attention spans have gotten shorter. That's a bunch of hogwash. People still go to the movie theaters. On YouTube, the channels that I've been following for years and years, the content used to be this long and now it's this long. Like many common blogs used to be 10 to 15 minutes in length. Now they're average 30 to 40 minutes in length. Now, your episodes don't need to be that long. In fact, that's too long for a how-to video. If one of your videos is 5 minutes long and the next video is 15 minutes long, that's an average of 10. So just shoot for an average of 10 and that will check the box of these 5 ingredients. Okay, ingredient number 3 is you need to keep their attention. You need to have a high retention rate. So if your video is 10 minutes long, some people, when they click on it, they're going to watch it for 10 seconds and then leave. But other people are going to watch it all the way to the end. So if you can have an average of 50% or higher, then YouTube will be more likely to promote your video and to suggest it to other viewers. Ingredient number 4 is custom thumbnails. Now, these have become way more competitive in recent years, and so unfortunately, you do have to put some effort into the thumbnail, and sometimes you can test and tweak things. If you do the keyword research and you find that leaf title, that's the title of the video, and you don't need to repeat that same text on the thumbnail. They'll always see the thumbnail and the title together, so on the thumbnail, you can use more captivating text that really creates curiosity, such as "Realtors never tell you this," or "Avoid this major mistake." Right? So you've got the title, the question that people are asking, but on the thumbnail, design it in a way that won't give away the answer, but that will really create curiosity about what the answer is so that they'll want to watch that video. Now, ingredient number 5 is you've got to launch 5 episodes per week. Now, that sounds like a lot. I consider that daily. But when we film 20 episodes in a single day. So if you start at 9 a.m. in the morning and you go until 5 o'clock at night, you can film 20 episodes. Most creators, like vloggers and things, they'll film all day long and then edit all night for just 1 episode. And they do that day after day after day. That's why a lot of vloggers get burnout, or why a lot of vloggers slow down and only launch 1 or 2 episodes per week. With this type of content, we can be way more efficient. You can film 20 episodes in a day, and then you only have to film every 4 weeks. The reason I'm challenging you to launch 5 episodes per week is because if you do this, you'll dominate your entire lane within about 4 months. Yeah, 4 months. Now, I recommend that people commit to this strategy for about a year because you can find several different branches that you want to dominate on YouTube. Think of that tree analogy, right? There's the trunk of the tree, there's all the different branches on that tree, and then at the end of those branches is the leaves. Well, you're going to pick and choose, ooh, that branch I don't want to dominate, but that one I do. And so while you might dominate your first branch after about 4 months, meaning any question that people searches on that branch, they find you. you can expect that in about 4 months. Now, if you're committed to this strategy for a full year, you're going to dominate several different branches on YouTube. Now, if you have a 7-figure business already, then what's realistic? Well, many of my clients, after about a year, have generated an additional 7 figures of revenue into their business. I've got a couple clients that are now generating 8 figures every year just from YouTube leads following this strategy. I've got an invitation for you. Now, in this episode, I've shared a lot. I've shared my entire strategy, and if you want to go more in depth, I've actually created a course. Now, the course is very inexpensive. It's only $17, but in the course, I can go into way more depth on all 5 of these strategies, and I take you behind the scenes and show you how we implemented these on several different channels so that you'll really understand how to implement this in your business. I can think of no better way to market consulting services. That's who all my clients are. They're consultants. And if you want to go deeper than what I shared in this episode, go to youtubeleadgen.net. Again, the course is only $17. Go to youtubeleadgen.net.